Hello everyone and welcome back to KroofGaming. We are now doing our Revenant build guide that we had in the past video, and I've decided to call this build the Dominator. So, I know it's kind of a cheesy name, but whatever, I don't know. I wanted to give it a creative title. But anyways, let's get on to it. We are going to go, oh, there's another Revenant crossing by. Anyway, we're going to be doing our weapons, and then our sigils, and then our runes, and then our amulets, then our traits, and then our skills, and our utility skills. Excuse me. Just our normal layout. So let's get this thing started. First weapon set, we take the Royal Ascalon mace, or just any other mace. I prefer this mace because it looks visually appealing to me. And then we have an axe. We use mace and axe for the condition applications. They have very nice condition qualities. They play off of each other very well. And I highly suggest doing this because this is a more of a condition damage build. So, highly suggest that. And then we have two swords. Sword main hand and sword offhand. You really only use this for Shiro. And we use this for Mallyx. The good thing about the Revenant is that one weapon set can be used for one, it's not a spirit, stance or person, whatever, Mallyx. This one can be used for the other one. So you're basically having two different professions in one, which is like really cool to me. It's like, I don't know, that's the way I think of it. But anyway, this is for Mallyx, and then this is for Shiro. The sigils that we take for Mallyx is Sigil of Fire, which is just a basic flame blast to do AoE damage and apply burning. And then Sigil of Earth to inflict bleeding. For Shiro, we take Sigil of Air, which is a lightning strike, which does basic flat damage. It's nice. And Sigil of Leeching, which means your next weapon or the next attack after weapon swapping will siphon some life. And this plays in with some other traits that we have over here. We will get into that a little later. But our rune that we take, mainly because I stick with Mallyx for the majority of fights, I will take Rune of Balthazar for condition damage and burning duration and 20% chance to apply or burning duration when you use a heal skill. So it's always nice. And then of course the Meta Viper amulet that is Condi players' dream. Oh my gosh, this thing's amazing. So that was basic rundown of our weapon sets. Mallyx, Shiro, condition damage, and then another condition damage rune and amulet. Okay, moving on to the traits. I gotta be honest with you guys, I was rehearsing this a little later and I was kind of stumbling over my words, so hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm just gonna wing it, you know, just jump into things. Doesn't matter. First trait first trait line that we take is Corruption, and the first trait we take in that is Venom Enhancement. This goes very well with your mace skills, with your mace auto attack, and I will get into that a little later. Oh, and your axe as well. I'll explain that in a little bit. But this is, when you apply Torment, you will also apply poisons. And your poisons last 50% longer. So, a lot of poisons, and they last longer. So it's more damage. It's amazing. And less healing effectiveness for the person that is ailed with it. Next one I take is Frigid Precision, which is a chance to chill your foe when you land a critical hit. I prefer to take this because chilling's always nice because it gets people confused. You have to get like into the brain of the other player if you want to win. You have to make them like almost crap their pants. That's how you win. And try to remain cool. So I take this because whenever I'm chilled, I freak out. So I'm like, okay, other people must also freak out. So that's why I take it. And chill's just a nice condition. You can also take Spontaneous Destruction. It casts banish enchantment on the player, but I usually use this quite often, so I don't need to worry about the game doing it for me. So that's why I decided to take Frigid Precision. Next, I take Pulsating Pestilence, which is a chance when struck to copy all conditions currently on you to nearby foes for a couple seconds. So this is a nice AoE condition spread. If you have conditions, if you're not fighting a person that applies conditions, this trait can be useless. Another viable trait you can take in this line is Maniacal Persistence, which just basically gives you increased critical hit chance over a period of time until you actually crit. So every second you'll get a 10% increase until you get to a maximum of 100%, which will mean the next hit you do is a critical hit, and then it'll reset. I take this. I actually just switched over to Pulsating Pestilence. but my maniacal persistence is really, really, really good. This was the trait I was using in the gameplay video. So if you just want to copy that build, go right ahead. Next trait we're taking is Devastation, and this is for the Shiro part. First trait we're taking is Ferocious Strikes. Gain increased ferocity while dual wielding weapons. And this also applies to Mallyx, because you will be dual wielding weapons. Both mace and an axe. Or wait, dual wielding. Does that mean sword? I mean, we're dual wielding. Okay, whatever. But I know definitely for Shiro, it does provide you with 150 increased ferocity, which is nice. Good, get those crits, people. Get those crits. Next one we take is Assassin's Presence, which is a nice support trait in the sense that it doesn't heal anyone. It just makes them stronger. It increases the ferocity for nearby allies. And the radius is 600, so you have to be fairly close to people. But it's nice to have extra ferocity. With this build, it's a lot of ferocity and getting those large crits. And then last but not least, we take Assassin's Annihilation, which is a very basic life siphoning trait. Whenever you hit someone from the side or the back, you will siphon some health. Now, the actual damage from the life siphon is greater. It does 331, and the healing is 306. Not too big of a difference, but, you know, it's still not as good as the damage, which is a little sad. But that's why I take that for extra sustain. That's why I take that. And then next we have Retribution, which is, I only take Retribution for survivability and sustain. It's our tanky trait line. You can also use the Herald if you want, but I feel more comfortable with Retribution. That's why I take it. And I feel like it's fairly, the Retribution trait line is fairly used, so thought I might as well put it into this. First trait we take is Close Quarters, which basically means the farther away someone is attacking you from, the less damage they're going to be doing. Now, this is actually a very common trait in other professions' trait lines, like the Elementalist. The Elementalist one is flipped. It's the closer you are, the less damage you do. This one is the farther you are, the less damage you'll do. So I take that for extra survivability, of course. Next, I take Dwarven Battle Training, which means you have a 25% chance to apply weakness to people, which is great, so they're doing less damage to you. And if you happen to be applied or ailed with weakness yourself, it will be less effective. And its effectiveness is decreased by half. So you will be doing more damage still. And then the last one, Steadfast Rejuvenation, is amazing. I can't live without this. This is why I'm able to survive. If I didn't have this, I would probably be dying every 5 seconds. But I take Steadfast Rejuvenation, which is a chance when struck to heal yourself. The healing is pretty substantial. I mean, it's not super large, but when you are in an environment where there's a lot of damage, it helps. And it's on a 4-second cooldown, and it has a 50% chance to trigger. So it's not just like a 5% chance to trigger. It's like every other attack should be triggering this trait. So that's why I take that. So we're done with this. I will leave this up here if you guys happen to want to copy it or something. I'll put that right in the corner if you are I don't know. I don't know. But now moving on to our weapons and our trait lines. Actually, I will need to use this to explain some of these things. Okay, so our auto attack is a basic auto attack, but the first two attacks of the mace deal torment damage. Now, torment also plays into this trait, Venom Enhancement, which means every time you apply torment, you also apply poison. As you can see here, there are 2 skills or 2 attacks that apply torment. So you'll be getting torment, poison, and then a poison for the third attack, because the third attack is just a basic poison. So that is very strong. That's why you see me auto-attacking a lot with this build. But overall, the auto attack is very strong, so don't ignore it. The second skill for the mace is Searing Fissure. This is a great skill. If you manage to put this or place it in the middle of a point where there's a lot of action going on, or in a raid boss scenario if you're doing PvE, which I need to do. Not judging. But Searing Fissure, it does great burning damage. Burning is usually very strong. This does a lot, and especially if a lot of people get stuck in it, it's going to do a lot of damage. And it's a combo field for fire as well. So if any allies are shooting arrows through it, they will also catch on fire and apply more burning. Overall, it's just a lot of burning. And small flat damage. Next is Echoing Eruption. Echoing Eruption does a lot for this weapon combination. Does a lot of flat damage, which is 728. And it will blast in a row, moment by moment. So it'll burst one and then the other one and then another one in a line. It doesn't happen. It happens consecutively, but not at once. This is great to use after you place down Searing Fissure because it will also grant you Might. And this also applies Torment, so more poison. I didn't even notice that until now. Learn something new every day. Anyway, moving on to the axe, we have Frigid Blitz. This is amazing. If you are farther away from someone and you're coming up on a point and you see an enemy taking it, you can use Frigid Blitz. It'll hurl an axe through someone or at someone, and if it hits that person, you will end up teleporting behind them. And so you'll end up teleporting behind them, and it's a 2-part attack. The pass-through damage is 109. The final damage is a lot. It's 1,092. And it also chills someone, or chills that person. And it's also unblockable. So, just saying, great skill. Temporal Rift. This is the other skill that applies to Torment. This slices into the mist and pulls foes to the middle of it. So you'll place this down at a point. If people are a little scattered around, they will be pulled into the center of it, and then you can start wailing on them. This is actually a great skill to use in conjunction with Searing Fissure and Echoing Eruption. And it also applies Torment, so more poisons. So in this weapon combination, you have 3 skills that apply Torment, or technically 4. Technically 4 skills that apply Torment, which will also be applying poison. So there's a lot of Torment and poisons. Moving on to the next skill, or weapons. Actually, I'm going to do this, and then the utilities, and then I'm going to swap over. Okay. So we did this down, and then I'm going to discuss Mallyx. Basic healing skill is like the Necromancer's Consume Corruptions. Large flat healing, and then we'll do additional healing per condition on you. So nice to have. You can't change it out, so you just gotta live with it. Pain Absorption. This grants resistance to yourself and nearby allies. And it absorbs conditions from those allies, gaining additional resistance per condition. So there's just a lot of absorbing conditions, providing resistance to yourself and your allies. So it's one of a great. Secretly, I don't think this gets enough attention. I don't use it. I'm guilty of not using it as much as I should, because it's actually great, because there's a lot of my pronunciation. There's a lot of condition reapers out there, so this is great for support and just surviving. I don't know why I'm sorry if I tripped over my words. I apologize. Next we have Banish and Enchantment. Wow, it's a great day today. But this is basic deal damage and also applies confusion to them. And it also removes a boon. So there's 3 parts: flat damage, confusion, and then removes boons. Tongue twister. And it has 600 range, so you can actually use this from a little ways back. So nice to have. Unyielding Anguish. This skill is amazing. I use this if I'm coming up on a point and there's like 2 people on the point. I will just use this and leap in and just bash them. This is great. You leap forward, dealing 273 damage. It creates an AoE, which chills people and applies Torment, which will also be applying poison. Don't forget that. And is also a combo field for dark. 240 radius, so fairly small, but still really good. And then our elite, Embrace the Darkness. You summon the power of the legendary demon to transform into a powerful avatar. You are immune to the blind condition, blind. You get a 10% increase to all stats, and you start applying Torment to everyone, which in turn applies poison. Amazing. Actually, now that I think about it, hold on. Rune of Balthazar. I think we need to switch you out because there's a lot of poisons. Hold on. Isn't there a poison rune? Grenth? No, it's chill. Or there we go. Rune of War. Apologize. Go back. Sorry, everyone. Mid mess ups. Go back to the runes interrupt the utility skill explanation, go back to the runes, and use Rune of Ore. Fixed it. Okay, go. We're going back to the utility skills. That's basically it. Ignoring blinds, 10% increase to all stats, and torments. It's great. Okay, now we can move on to the Sword and Shiro. Oh, lovely effects. First skill, very basic auto attack, which does 2 shots of vulnerability, and then Rift Slash. And then it creates a rift on them that explodes for additional damage after a short delay. So this does very high flat damage at the end, and then we'll do additional damage if they remain in the same spot. Second one, Precision Strike. Strike nearby foes with precision, sending out blades and damage and chill them. So good range, good chill, good damage. I find Sword does a lot of heavy damage. So this is great for bursting. And then the third skill, Unrelenting Assault. This is the OG skill. This is amazing. If you watch the Heart of Thorns reveal trailer, this is the skill Ritlock was using when he was fighting those 3 Morgan troll. Or I think they're grunts. Might be trolls. I'm not too sure. But this skill is great. You will dance around, slashing people in the back, slashing them in the face, slashing them wherever. You'll be immune to all effects, and you will gain might for each time you actually damage a phone. So that's great. And then our fourth skill, Duelist Preparation. This is basically a block, and then once you are attacked, you can use Shackling Wave. And this is basically a slice through the air, sending out a wave of energy from the mists towards your foe, and it will immobilize the target. And the fifth one, Grasping Shadow. This is a stab, connecting them to you, and then you're going to shadow step backwards, teleporting them with you. Does very high flat damage as well. That's it for Sword. And then we're going to go back into the utility skills for Shiro. Enhanced Daggers, or Enchanted Daggers. Wow, my reading is not on point today, I'm sorry. Guys, it's gonna be like my Necromancer build video where I'm just like stepping over my words, I'm sorry. But nonetheless, Enchanting Daggers, whatever. This is similar to the Skelk Poison. I think that's what it is on the Thief. Where every time you attack a target, it will also do damage and siphon the life out of them. So the siphon damage is 911, and the siphon healing is 808, but the initial heal is about 2,000, and you get 6 hits off of it. So there's a lot of potential for a lot of damage and a lot of healing if you use it correctly, along with this and the trait lines with the Shiro to actually siphon life. There's going to be a lot of siphoning. Get out of here, Scrapper. Anyway, going into Reposting Shadows, this is the Legendary Assassin, the first one. You're going to evade and remove Immobilize, Chill, and Cripple. Great. And you're going to gain some Endurance. That's basically a nice get-out-of-jail-free card if you're ever immobilized. Next, Phase Traversal. You're going to step through the mist to your target, and then your next few attacks can't be blocked, so that's always nice. And then next we have Impossible Odds, which is just a basic quickness and empowering yourself, super speed, attacking a lot. And it's great to have whenever you're getting to point. And then going over to Jade Winds, this is our elite skill. You will just basically blast everyone in a radius, stunning them for a short duration, and then immobilizing them. So that's nice. Or not immobilizing them, but it's a stun. So it's still really good to use. So use it wisely. And if you use it wisely, you're going to dominate the area. So that's why Jade Winds is really good. So that's it. Now a little bit how to play the actual class or profession. So basically when you're on a point, you want to start out with Mallyx, use Searing Fissure next into Echoing Eruption, and then Temporal Rift. Or you can go Temporal Rift if everyone's scattered around, then going to Searing Fissure, and then Echoing Eruption, chaining in some auto attacks in between. And if you need to catch someone or chase someone down, Frigid Blitz is always amazing. Use these skills, use the hero skill whenever it's off cooldown and you need it. Don't forget about this. I usually forget about it, which is not good. 8, this is a good opening if say Frigid Blitz is off cooldown and you're just running to the mid, like slowly trudging there. you can just use this to get some damage and confusion on them. And Unyielding Anguish is nice. So if there's a large, if there's like 3 or 4 people on a point and your whole team's like zerging it, you can lay this down because there's going to be a lot of comboing off of it, a lot of torment going out, a lot of poisons as well, and chilled. Don't forget Embrace the Darkness. I tend to forget my elites a lot. I think it's because they're always like on a super long cooldown, or I don't really want to use them, which is kind of sad. Okay, moving on to Shiro. I don't really, to be honest, I don't really like pay attention to what I'm doing in Shiro because it's just like kill everything all the time. So auto attack as much as possible. Use this if you happen to be in Sword and you can't switch over to Mace Axe. Use Precision Strike for the opening because it has a decent amount of range. Unrelenting Assault is also really nice. If there's 2 people on a point, even 1 person, it's nice. If there's 2 people, you can use it. There's going to be a lot of damage going out. It's really nice. I'm saying it's nice too much. Anyway. Duelist Preparation, great for shielding. So if you're taking heavy damage, use this. You'll be fine. And then Grasping Shadow. If you're going to pick someone out of a pile, and you're going to own their face in, use this. And if you know you can win, use it. Because if you don't know you can win, you're just going to kill yourself, which I've done sometimes. Use this either when you're low or you need extra damage just to burst someone down. 7, get out of jail free card if you're ever immobilized. I say this, I'd say to use this whenever you're immobilized, not necessarily chilled. 8, Phase Traversal, great opener. And then Impossible Odds, good to just start wailing on someone. And then Jade Winds, use sparingly. So yeah, that's the video, everyone. I'm sorry if I continue to trip over my words as I usually do. But I've really been trying. I don't know why I've been having such a hard time doing this anymore. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it, and leave a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed the Dominator build for the Revenant. And I will be making some more of these as I go along. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for coming. Checking me out. See you guys later. Kroof out.